Well, welcome to Unit 9, in which we're now in the Part 2 of our sermon development and sermon design portion of the course. And last week you got started on that. And today, if I can say it this way, you get to put the finishing touches on your sermon. Now, you're not going to be preaching it yet. We're going to talk about style and delivery in the upcoming units. But you do get to finish your sermon on paper, as it were, this week. So specifically, you'll be talking about filling out your outline after you get your main points. After you've written out the body of your sermon, what do you do next? We're going to get to talk about the functional elements, things like explanation and illustration and argumentation and application and even exhortation. And then we're going to specifically talk about how do you effectively begin a sermon? What do you do in the introduction? And then, how do you bring a sermon to a conclusion in which it meets people right where they are and calls them and even persuades them to respond to what it is that God's been saying in their life in this sermon? This is when we really do begin to think about our audience, not just a sermon on paper, but who are we going to deliver this sermon to? As Danny Aiken has been quoted to have said in our text-driven preaching book, what you say is more important than how you say it. That's the contents of the sermon. But how you say it has never been more important. That's the design of the sermon. And so this week, we'll begin thinking about how do you say to the specific people in front of you what it is that God's leading you to say.